Hello guys, Dimmy G here from Europe A, REBBL College. You know me as the Cursed Cowboys coach. Wanted to do something a little bit different. A couple of reasons for it, mainly because I started YouTubing after I started college, so didn't manage to get this one up in time. So what we're doing today is we're going to revisit game one. So I think it's always good to look back at your games, but what I thought, especially going back 5 games, I was a completely new coach. I've played tons and tons of games since then, so I just want to go back, have a look at it, see if there's anything I could have done better, improve on, and it's a way for me to show you guys the actual game itself. So it's Cursed Cowboys versus Everton Eagles. It was game 1. We're going to jump into the replay and see how I think I did. It's a bit of a weird one. I haven't actually watched this for a long time, so we're in week 5 currently, and I haven't seen this since week 1. I did watch it back at the time, but I just want to watch it back again just to see if there's anything that I can pick up on, maybe improve on. Also, I want to make a massive shout out to your old fella, which is my opponent in this game, who's probably had a difficult season. Probably gave me one of the hardest games of the season. Old Yeller, there we go. So it is an interesting matchup. I've got no skills, so this is officially baby chaos. This is as baby as it gets. No skills on the board whatsoever. We're gonna have a look at the toss. So toss goes up. Lost the toss, and he chose for me to defend. So I'll be kicking to him this half. First thing I want to look at is the setup. Like, am I happy with the setup? Do I think it's any good? It looks as though I'm just going to go for a standard rule of 5, which, I mean, at the time I didn't really know much about Blood Bowl. This setup could be better, in my opinion. I mean, it depends what you really want to achieve out of the game, but I think setups are probably one of the things that are most important. That with a little bit of research you can make much better. So I mean, against agility teams, you will see in other videos I've done that I spread out a lot wider. So looking at that, I would probably do that this time around. So we're going to whiz through this one as well. This is going to be hopefully a much quicker video, and they're normally between an hour and a half. So I've got perfect defense here as well. Did I do anything with it? We mashed the line. Okay, I don't know. The kick is good. The kick's nice and deep. It's okay, you know. It's okay. So I'm giving him uphill dice pretty much everywhere. So it's all right. It's not bad. I don't know if I would have done that now. I maybe would have gone with the 4 warriors in the front. So I would have put like a space apart, 4 warriors across the line. Maybe some goats in between, but I definitely would have covered these side things. The flanks. So we've got 1 dices all across the boards. Like I say, this is an opportunity for me to look back at the game as well. So I don't necessarily know what's going to happen either. I can't remember that far ago. But he's done well. He's got himself a couple of pushes. He's got 1 pow. He's gone to pick up the ball. Picked it up like a boss. So I was really nervous going into this game. I remember being really nervous. First game of college. Didn't really know what I was doing too much. This is 1 punch here, right here, which is good. And I haven't really got any other options. So what do I try and do? So we base here. Take the... I mean, I'm not a fan of that already. I'll just took the block without moving any of these guys. I don't really know what my plan is. So we're obviously going to go for... I mean, to be fair, the screens, just the turn ordering is awful. So these guys could have moved before this block. There's no reason for me to do that block first. Again, this guy could move. Both of these guys could have moved before the block and the blitz. I've got a 2 dice block just purely out of the fact that we've got horns. And yeah, just so first thing to pick up on is my turn ordering is not great. Doing a lot of movements after blocking, which is just not great at all. So he's moving the ball forward. We've got a nice bit of pressure here. Like, I don't mind this too much. I just wish I did it in a different order. So now he's kind of boxing, caging, also getting the hits. Got really lucky with that. Very, very lucky with that. 2 skulls into a push. Can't really complain about that. And he's failed a dodge. Does he re-roll that? No, into a stun as well, which is pretty horrific for my opponent, to be honest with you. So what do I do to try and capitalise? Okay, so now I am thinking, right, mark up, tag the guys at the back, put the pressure on the ball. Don't hate either of those moves. We took a block. Don't really hate that. I want to know where my blitz goes. So he's got sidestep. Gives me another hit. Okay, so that's not great because he's got sidestep. So if I push him, he's going to pick where he goes anyway. So I don't really know why I moved him there specifically. And then we've got the POW. We got some pretty good blocks in there. And we got the blitz coming in. Yeah, so we're threatening the scoring threat, which is decent. I actually don't mind that at all. And we've got the armor break as well. Okay. This was just to cover the gap here, I'm sure. But, I mean, he's not really doing anything there. So, maybe I could have done something different with him. We're tagging. So, I like the 2 on the 1 sort of approach. There's not much pressure on the ball. Could probably use this guy to pressure the ball. Like, that is not hard for an elf to get through. So, he's just dodging out. Basing. And blitzing. So, that was alright. He's got himself 2 dice. Getting a push. So, again, I've been pretty lucky there. Where's he going with this guy? Basing again. And he's moving into the pocket. I remember feeling really confident at this stage. I remember thinking, like, right, I've got him. Nice little dodge there. This was the gap that I wanted to get through. So, again... Okay, so it's based here, which is, this is a now dodge, and he's, yeah, I mean, he got there in the end. I don't know if that is the correct order of doing it, but he got there. So I can't really ever go at him for that. Don't hate it, as I say. It's all good. So again, we're basing Chaos Warriors. And I mean, that would be better there. Okay, maybe that's why I brought the 3rd guy across, because he can just dodge out on a 2+ there, so that's not awful. This isn't great. And now we're just basing. So we've got the blitz. Pushes him in there, follows it through. So we're still not really on the ball, so we're just taking the hits. I mean, I don't hate that either. Just take the hit that you've got. What do I do with this guy? Very defensive. Okay, that I don't actually hate. I don't hate that too much. And then we got the POW here. So I'm in a pretty comfortable position. It looks good so far. We've managed to take... A lot of his team is pinned in here. Like, they're not really going anywhere, which is great. These are the 2 big guys. I just don't need to commit this many players. Like, if I committed less players here, like, even if it's just 1 less player... Because I don't have anything in the middle here, and we're a lot slower than pro elves as well. So we're risking now getting caught out of position. So I feel like I'm overcommit. I don't know if that's an overcommit, but I definitely think the guys in the backfield are an overcommit. And again, he failed a dodge, breaks into a stun. So again, I've been pretty lucky with that. So do I do anything to rectify this? Turn 4, move up into the field, mark, tag, don't hate that. Again, just taking blocks without moving people. So I could move this guy. Where's he gonna go? Right, so he's there. He could just be there just as easily before I take this block. The thing is with Baby Chaos, I don't have any skills. I don't have any blocks. So every block I take is a risk. I've got the push there. It's not great. It's not great. So sidestep is annoying as hell. We've got the POW. And now he's in a great position. So what do we do with this guy? I think that's a good move. I think that's alright. And then we keep these guys here so these guys are tagged. So again, we've got 3 guys. This guy has not really... I mean, he got the block. So he's moving across. And again, my guys are much slower. I feel like way too spread out. I'm not moving as a unit. I'm like completely like all over the place really when I think about it. He's dodging out very easily. And what you got to think here is I've got strength. I've got strength 4 here, which is doing nothing. Strength 4 here, which is doing nothing. I've got strength 4 here, which is doing nothing. So now I would want to keep like a solid kind of block of strength 4, or like keep them in a relevant position. I mean, obviously the beastmen are faster, so you want to use them to sort of catch people if I can. So we've got a POW there, knocks him straight over. At this stage, I was feeling pretty uncomfortable, to be fair, as far as elves go. I think, right, he's got in a decent position. So how do I deal with this? Move him around, tag. I think that's a solid start. Where's he going? That's apparent. Well, that's good, I believe. Although it's not really changing his dodges. So chances are he's going to dodge out there. This guy's nice and tagged. We're moving over. Put the pressure on. And I don't know about that. I don't know if I need that guy there. He's not really doing anything there. I feel like I should have dropped him more here. And then we're going for the blitz on the ball. So we got the POW. No other choice where to punch him really. And we got a Kaz. So a nice little Kaz there. Where did the ball go? Okay, not a terrible scatter. Okay, so we are actually covering this spot. But again, why have I moved him then? Like, I didn't need to move him then. I could have moved him way before that blitz. So turn ordering is the one thing that I've noticed. And it's atrocious. It's really, really bad. So we've actually freed this guy up here. Maybe we should have left that guy there. I don't know. I know what I'm thinking. If he blocks him off, then I've still got someone on the ball, which makes it a +3 rather than a +2. Got myself KO'd for it. Let's skip that. So this is the thing with elves. Even with him there, it's a +3. So he's got the blitz. 2 dice. Gets the push. So would the guy be better there? I don't know. So he dodges out, picks the ball up, throws the pass. And that is a wonderful pass which he catches with ease. Okay, so that guy there wouldn't have done anything anyway. And he gets the score. So what we're on, turn 5? I think that's his turn 5. We're moving into my turn 5 now. I remember feeling a little bit frustrated that I couldn't stop that, but it happens, you know. So let's just jump straight back into the kickoff. Have a look at the setups as well. So the KO doesn't come back. The Kaz obviously doesn't come back because we're dead even on players. Okay, so he looks like he's just setting up a sort of standard-ish screen.
Done it.
And then we are going into my setup. So I think I just picked one of the standard setups there, just looking at it. Quick snap. So the thing I noticed is I didn't really have a plan of action. I just went in for the default setup. So I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to achieve that turn. These are very random. I don't know, where's the ball landing? We don't even know where the ball's landing. Or is it going out of play? Oh wow, what a kick that is. So that's just going straight out of play. So I selected on my Chaos Warrior, which is probably not the best idea. I know why I've done it. I've done it because he's strength 4, so obviously it's harder to get the ball off of him. But he's also movement 5, so... And I suppose this is where I've tried to set a cage up. So I was very like, I need to cage. That was like the full process. I was like, I just have to cage. So we're moving the ball around. Again, we're sticking to this cage. I don't actually hate this. I don't hate this at all. And I'm assuming this is a blitz here. So where's he going? He's going to mark the guys on the floor, and we're going to blitz with this guy. So this is actually a much better turn order. Much better turn order. We're actually doing things in a logical order, which is nice. Run through, blitz. Okay, get the push. Do not follow that, Dimmy. No. Right, so we've got a cage set up. I mean, he has got a weak point here, so he could potentially move this guy around, move that guy, or move this guy around to here, move that guy around to there, get a 2 dice on this guy, which would then give him a blitz on the ball. So when you set up a cage, you don't really want to be in contact, but we got away with it. Ball's still up. He has freed here. He's not basing either, so, and he is kind of committing heavily on one side. So where do we go from here? Yeah, so he's fairly committed. I remember feeling the pressure here because this is turn 7, guys. So I've got this turn, and then I've got one more turn. So one thing you need to remember, that I don't always remember, is scoring threats. Turn 7, you need to have people in range. So this guy is the scoring threat. He runs off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's double GFIs to score on this guy, which is not ideal. He can't actually score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GFI. So he's not, apart from screening, he's not really achieving anything. This guy here again. So we've done a handoff, super risky handoff. We've moved the ball. We've based to try and obviously stop these guys coming over. And then we've based it. I think this was just basing for the sense of moving them. So we're going for the blitz. Horns knocks him down. I don't know if I could have got more scoring threats, but at the moment, if I'm pro else, I'm just looking at this guy thinking he is the only guy on my team that can score at this time, and I'm blitzing this guy. Whether it's a 1 dice and you get a push, because that will put him out of scoring range, or if I can get 2 dice, I'll do that. So he gets a knockdown. He's moving across. So again, this is not really necessary. Okay, and then we get the lucky dodge roll. So he rolls the 1, we get the re-roll. He hasn't got any, and then we get the failed GFI as well. So that ends the turn abruptly. Right. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to pause this really quickly because this was something that my mentor picked up on. Right. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going for the blitz here. Right. I basically got told this is a no. So what I should be doing here is this guy is absolutely free. He's doing absolutely nothing. So I could potentially blitz here. So we can get that blitz in there, which doesn't require this guy. And then it means that if this fails, if that's just a push, then we don't have to dodge out again or waste any of our movement. Also, I'll just play it. So I got lucky. I got the POW. Followed it up, then I ran him into the touch zone. So another GFI, there we go. So we got really super lucky here, like super lucky. The ball carrier goes, and then we fail a GFI. We had the re-roll, use the re-roll. That doesn't make any difference to that throw. It would have been a 4+ anyway, and then we pass it in and we score. Okay, so super lucky touchdown. I just want to touch on this really quickly, just to sort of show you we probably should have done that time around. So let me see if I can. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, so here we go. So this is the play. We blitz this guy out. We get the power. We knock him down here. He stays here. Then we run the ball here. We hand off so we don't have to throw the pass. And then we run the ball into the touchdown. So it's much less dice, much less risk. So just hit there. It's a 3+ handoff. And then obviously it's just a run-in with the 2 GFIs, which still isn't great, but it would have worked. So we're going to switch it back over. This is right, second half. So it's 1-1 at half time. Probably the best result I could have hoped for, especially against Pro Elves. He gave me enough turns to score back. I managed to do it really, really by the skin of my teeth. It wasn't a like a obvious score. It was high risk. Again, I just want to point out my setup. My setup isn't great. Okay, so he gets the kickoff. He gets the blitz. So the ball is here. And what do we see? So he's base in here. He's blitz in here. So, I mean, if I was him, I'd probably be tempted to blitz this guy. I know it's less dice, but he's actually active with the ball. Like, because the ball is going to drop there. So now he's basing the ball drop, which is pretty good. Running through. I must admit, I must have been pretty terrified at this point. I mean, the setup I've got isn't terrible. I've got these 2 guys at the back. I've got, like, bodies to cover it, but it's not a logical setup. It's not like a thought-through setup. And like the blocks don't really make sense, so I don't actually need that goat there because these are going to both be 2 dice. I only need the 1 assist here for that to be 2 dice, and I could have had another guy free. So ball drops, cover the ball. I actually like that. I like that move. Then we're going to take the blitz. We run around it to knock him away this way. He's got a sidestep, so it doesn't really matter. I've just basically wasted my movement. Got away with that. We've gone to pick the ball. No? Okay, that's not terrible. I kind of like that. We're taking the blitzes. Super risky. Without block. Everything I'm doing right now is without block. We're doing it though. I mean, they are all 2 dice. So I think now it's like free this guy up. Where are we going to go with this guy? We're going to mark. We're going to hit. So now we've got this guy free as well. We've got the armor break. And we've got 2 guys left to do. So we're going to pick the ball up with a warrior. Yeah, again, I don't know if I would do that now. So this foul was actually... It took me a long time to think about that foul. And the reason I did it was because he's on the floor, he's basing the ball. And we get ourselves sent off for it, but we actually get the stun. So it's not a terrible foul, it's not a great foul, and it obviously cost us. So we're down to 10 men now. We've got the stun rolling over, and that is pretty horrific. He's got the 1 in 9 into a push. So this guy's now free. This guy's coming round. We're going to see the blitz onto this guy. I'm not sure about this. I would have been more focused around the ball if I could have been. I mean, he's got the 2 guys here. And then he's just going to try and sort of set up some sort of screen, I guess. So yeah, I've got the ball in the Chaos Warrior. I mean, I don't hate carrying on the Chaos Warrior. He's just a lot slower. So it kind of makes sense at this stage of the game. I'm not in a huge rush, but it's much more efficient to carry the ball on a goat and to hand it off if possible. So we've got a cage, we've got a pre-built cage pretty much. And we've got the blitz, we're just looking for punishment. We hit him back, get the armor break, get the Kaz. So again, really good result. Right, okay. Moves forwards, bases. So I like that blitz. I think that's a good blitz. Then we bring the Chaos Warrior up to base. He doesn't really want to punch that Chaos Warrior. And we're basing. So this is actually something that I've not done correctly, is basing with the higher strength. So I think it might be something to do with this. Maybe I get hurt here. I get some pow. Okay, no, it's fine. Right, so he's got like a screen of sorts. He's got the guy moving around. He's out of position right now, but it's because of the blitz. So blitzes can actually work in your favour. Like, if they don't achieve what they need to achieve, it opens the game up, because he couldn't just sit back and screen, which is what you expect from most elves, because he went for the ball. I would go for the ball. I probably would have blitzed the guy here who was stood next to the zone, even though he's strength 4 over the guy that was there. But yeah, it's interesting to see how I deal with this cage. Okay, so now we're just moving out here, which is pretty fair enough, to be honest with you. I think that's a pretty slick move. You just bypass the bypass the screen, get everybody across. I'm a bit concerned about movement. I don't think. Yes, I'm rolling a GFI for that. I think I'm rolling a GFI for this. No, right, okay. So the cage is set up. Got basing just to make him roll dice. Basing here just to make him roll dice. I don't actually hate this turn. I think this is a good turn. And then we got a blitz just to get him away from the cage, and we get the pow, and we move him away. That, in all, that's a very good turn for me, I believe. I don't know if I'd do anything differently. So now he's just like scrambling, trying to recover. He's trying to set up this screen now. He needed to be here, in my opinion, rather than here, because screening here stops my progression. Screening there gives me progression, and we've got a fair amount of turns left as well, unless we see something else come up here. So he's taking blocks here, probably the right call. We got Billy Clanton is down. I believe Billy is now playing for another team. You'll see that in my other videos. I'm pretty sure he's been bought out by another club. So we got the dodge here. Okay, that's better. And then we got the push here. But I mean, like, for me now, even just looking back at this, I'm just looking here now. I'm looking here. I don't really want to go down there. So we got the free guy moving, so that's better. We've got the blitz. I don't know if I like that. It's going to be 2 dice without block. I don't really know the thought process there, because even with that guy here, we can move all of these guys. Like, that hasn't actually achieved anything, so that could have well been the last movement of the turn, and we could have kept the cage moving. And then we're taking GFIs. Every time I'm moving this cage, I'm taking GFIs, because I'm not counting out the squares properly. Like, now I've started like counting squares. So like, when I've got the cage, when I've got the ball carrier, I disregard the players in it. So if I have to move through this guy, I won't count that square. I'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see streamers do it. You see a lot of players do it. Just count your squares out before you move, so you know where you're going. Because I've literally, you'll see it in my last game as well. I did a very similar thing in my last game, which is game 5. So I well should have learned from that by now. But I've done it twice in a row, and like, all it takes is a snake, and I have no cage. So that's definitely something, looking back, that I hope. Well, I need to work on it. Basically, it's the short of it. It wasn't great. Looking back, I've given him opportunity. So now he's basing. So this is like, I mean, I think in this game I was conscious of stalling. I was like aware that I don't want to score early against elves. So again, I'm running off. I don't know if that. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. I've obviously realised my error, and actually brought him back rather than do. Because Beastmen are obviously faster than Chaos Warriors. So every time I move the cage, if I move them at their full capacity, I thought no back. I don't know if that's the GFI. Okay, so we used the goat instead of the Chaos Warrior, which is fine. I mean, obviously the Chaos Warriors stronger characters, but I think like you want them free. So the blitz goes to the guy nearest the cage. Don't hate that. And we get the POW. Right, so now we're just straight in the scoring range, so we don't actually need to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, straight into there. I can even go sideways and in without a GFI. Get an armor break is just a stun. And right, here we go. So this is Old Yeller. He's in a bit of an awkward position. I wouldn't want to be in his position, so now he's basing out of necessity. He's going to blitz the corner of the cage. Maybe could have done that in a different way over here, where he had the guy based already. So he's got the push, so this is now open. This warrior is actually positioned very nicely. It stops him going in there. And he's just pulling his guys back. So I think we've got... Oh, we've got even teams. We've got even players. And he's just hitting, moving over, moving behind. I mean, I would rather see him come around here, because obviously you want to stop us. I can score at this point. I am very, very aware that I can just score. So what we do, we reinforce the back, which I don't hate. We're covering this guy, which I don't hate. Yep, that's all good. Blocking with the ball carrier. Not so sure about that. I mean, I didn't really have any intention of moving. We get the push. I don't follow that, do I? No. And then we base here. Then I'm assuming we hit here. Okay, so we're lucky here, because if that's a push, if that is a push, he's still on his feet. He stands him up, and that's a 1 die, I suppose. There, and then if that works, he's got a blitz on the ball. It will be a red die. I mean, it's not easy. I've got the strength advantage and I'm using it, but it's not tidy, it's not clean. Right, so he's got the 2 die on this guy. He's got the push. He's got the base. So this was a point I was actually sort of... I remember being very nervous at this point. And then he's basing, which is good. Right, so now again we're blocking with the ball carrier for no real reason. We actually got the both down there, so if I didn't have rerolls, that ball is on the ground, and he's in there. So we're blitzing. I'm like so regimented trying to stay to this box. It's actually quite scary. So we block here surely and block there. We're taking a random block here. No reason not to follow that. We got the push. Follow that. Yeah, okay, and now we've got... Actually, that's only giving us the 1 dice on there. That's not great. So we didn't need to follow that. We should have stayed there and got 2 dice on this guy. I don't know if I'm going to... I didn't even throw the block. So now, he's got the 2 dice here. And now he can get... With a 2+ dodge, he can get straight on that ball. What else is picking guys up? This is just so scrappy. Like, so scrappy. I'm so adamant on stalling, and could have cost myself a lot more. So we're coming up to turn 16. So I actually want to pause this at some point just to show you something that's... This is how ridiculously lucky I got this game as well. Like this... right, okay. So... Pick this guy up, pick this guy up. Right, we make a block to try and free the ball. So this guy here, right, let's pause it. So we've got tackle zones to pick from. We've blocked from this guy to this guy. So all we need to do is push him here and push him here. So he's no longer on the ball. So that means it's only this guy that is in the way of the ball that we can blitz and then score, and that's without rolling any dice. So let's actually have a look and see what I do. So I actually push my assist away, which keeps this guy and this guy on the ball. We come round, we make the blitz block. Right, so that was the first death for me of the season. But we've skipped that. We've now got a random dodge there that I just didn't need to do. So that was just me pushing in the wrong places. Could have been a lot tidier. I was so hell-bent on staying in that box and not spreading out. Once you're in that corner, you can spread out and zone it off from a distance. The fact that I just stayed there allowed him 3-4 turns to like try and get the ball, try and turn over. And that last turn, I'm rolling tons of dice without any skills. And I just genuinely got really lucky. All it took was one double skull there and I wouldn't have scored. So that's 2-1, turn 16, which is perfect in the sense that I've scored in turn 8 in both halves. But both scores were really messy, really sloppy. My setups, to be frank, are not even really setups. They are just me putting guys in positions I don't really know about. I think I've come a long way. Definitely come a long way since this first game. I think I got really lucky with old Yellow there. So like this easily could have been 1-0 to him. If I failed a GFI, if I failed the throw, the pass, and in that second half if I failed that dodge. So I mean, like, I took the win, and it's always good to look back. So I've got a blitz this time. I don't think I'd do anything with it. No, just end the turn. And then we get punched. We get punched. Maybe he's going for the pass. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, boys, it wasn't a clear-cut game at all. Like you look back, you see the 2-1, you see the win, but until you actually get into that game, you don't really know. He got 3 armor breaks all game, which is really low. I got 8, which isn't massively high, but I don't think I was doing a lot of blocking. We got the MVP on a guy who got a Kaz, so we got an instant up level. We got a good amount, so that we got 2 touchdowns, we got 2 Kazes, we got a pass, 3 Kazes, and obviously an MVP. So this was probably the best SPP that I've had out of any game, and it could have been so different. Could have been so different. I'm not really going to look at dice or anything like that, but yeah, it was just a case of I didn't have this video recorded. I did stream it at the time, but they bring them down after a certain while. Wanted to put it on YouTube. I wanted to revisit game 1 to see like what sort of plays I was making as opposed to what I'm playing now. See if I could see any mistakes in my game. See if there's anything that's still currently in my game that I can fix. And just, yeah, the quality of the video, the last video with my coaching wasn't great. I've figured it out. I've managed to fix it. So moving forward, I'm probably going to get my coach Glow Dude back again. We're going to do another video. I don't know if it's going to be the next couple of games. It might be the last game of the season. It depends how I need it. Like, because I've got some tough games coming up. If something happens that I'm not happy with or something I want to look at, he's always there to shout me out, have a chat with. But we'll be doing more videos in the future. All my games are on there. All my other league games are on there. And it's just a case of me sort of catching up. Getting this video out there just for the sake of it wasn't recorded in the first place, and also it's always good to see how far you've come. So when you start playing, you can play and play and play and play and get to a certain point, and you can feel like you're not getting better. So if you go back to where you begin and have a look at it, or go back a few games and then see what you're doing and what you're doing differently, it's a good way of sort of building up your own confidence, and obviously learning. I mean, I'm a long way off a great coach. I'm not a bad coach. I'm not a good coach, but I definitely want to improve. And this is the sort of thing I do. So I thought I'd share it with you, just so you can see what I do. And I do look at all my games, and I will watch them back, and I will cover it. I'll ask questions, and I'll do all the sorts of things that you can do to make yourself better. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch me on Twitch. Catch me on YouTube. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. But I'll be posting more and more stuff like this, hopefully, moving forward. Alright guys, thanks a lot.